Michael, the Darwin Núñez deal agreed. Is that going to go through? Because I gather the player hasn't said yes or no yet.
He's been given permission to finalise the move. Now, there were reports earlier in the summer that he wanted to move on to be a first-team regular somewhere. We told yesterday they'd reached an agreement for a fixed fee of 46.2 million plus add-ons. That would take the fee to 56.6 million pounds if he does go to Al Hilal. Now, there's much been mentioned about Liverpool's signings and how much they've spent. But if that does go through, that's Núñez at the door for around 50 million. And Luis Diaz, let's not forget, has left for Bayern Munich as well. So there have been some outgoings as well as the incomings as well.
Indeed.
You could say Gerard Quansah was there, 34 million.
Yeah.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, 10 million. Nat Phillips.
For a month
as well. Huge, amazing, astonishing business, really, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So therefore, Liverpool, whilst yes, they have spent a lot of money, their net spend now off the back of Núñez, should he go to the Saudi Pro League, would be almost minuscule by some standards. I don't mean to be belittling of huge sums of money, but when you look at what teams spend, they've actually been really clever and really creative, and that's what's amazing. Another player potentially could head out the door. Ben Doak, we'll talk about him later in the show. More PSR, 100% profit. Exceptional business.
But does all this mean Alexander Isak to Liverpool? Easy?
Nothing's ever easy when you're talking a Premier League record, and that's what it would have to be should Newcastle decide to sell their star man. A lot of people will be saying, well, Liverpool have lost Luis Diaz, played as a false nine. They've lost...
Liverpool transfer news, Alexander Isak stance explained as Arne Slot drops major hint. Liverpool have spent in the region of £300 million already this summer as they look to retain the Premier League title, and to further big money signings could still be on the agenda before the window closes. Liverpool have wasted little time in showing their intentions ahead of the upcoming season. As reigning Premier League champions, the Reds are eager to defend their crown and are already positioning themselves strongly for another title challenge. This summer has seen a huge injection of talent into Arne Slot's squad, with spending pushing close to the £300 million mark, and there are signs that business might not yet be over. Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak remains a prime target after handing in a transfer request, while the hunt for a new centre-back has been ongoing for months. However, before any fresh arrivals, Liverpool may need to make room in the squad. Luis Diaz has already departed, while Darwin Núñez appears to be edging closer to a lucrative switch to Saudi Arabia. More exits could yet follow. Speaking about Isak's situation, former Manchester United striker Dimitar Berbatov offered insight into what might be influencing the Swedish forward's decision-making. Of course, money will play a part. Football is a business, Berbatov said. He will be hearing from his agent, family, friends, and the people around him. At some point, you might say to your club, I've given enough. Now, it's time to move on. The club might not like that, especially if they haven't got a replacement lined up, so they'll need to react quickly. Sometimes they just don't want to let you go because they expect big things from you in the coming season. Liverpool's eyes on Getty's Palace stand firm in the meantime. Liverpool's pursuit of Crystal Palace captain Mark Getty remains in the background. The 23-year-old will lead Palace out in the Community Shield on Sunday. Manager Oliver Glasner confirmed. The Wembley clash pits last season's Premier League champions against the surprise FA Cup winners, who beat Manchester City in the final. Jehi has just 1 year left on his deal at Selhurst Park, fueling speculation over his future. While Liverpool hold interest, reports suggest the club are prepared to bide their time rather than paying a premium before the summer window closes. Palace are expected to demand around £40 million if they are to part ways with the England international Glasner. Also provided clarity on another sought-after Palace player, Ebereki Ez, who has been linked with Arsenal. Ez will play on Sunday, definitely. Mark as well, he will captain the team, Glasner said. Asked about Gaya's future, he replied, "You have to ask Mark. In the end, it's always the player's decision. We'd like him to sign a new deal, but it's up to him. Newcastle's striker search could decide Isak's fate meanwhile. Newcastle's own striker hunt may dictate whether Liverpool can land Isak. According to Sky Sports' Keith Downey, the Magpies have made progress in talks to sign Brentford forward Yoane Wissa. The Drive Congo international is reportedly keen on the move, and with Bournemouth's Dengo Ouattara lined up as Brentford's replacement, a £35 million deal could soon be finalist. Newcastle's search for attacking reinforcements has been far from straightforward. They've missed out on several high-profile targets, including Hugo Ekitike, Benjamin Zacco, Brian Mbeumo, Joe Pedro, and Liam Delap. This lack of depth means they are unwilling to sell Isak just yet, particularly before facing Liverpool. In the second weekend of the new Premier League season, reports suggest the Magpies have no desire to see Isak line up against them so soon after leaving. Other names on Newcastle's shortlist include Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson, Porto prospect Samuel Wagahawa, and Paris Saint-Germain's Randall Kolo Muani. Also of interest to Tottenham and Juventus. Italian outlet Gazzetta dello Sport even claims Juventus have offered Newcastle the chance to sign Dusan Vlahovic as part of their bid to secure Kolo Muani on a permanent deal. After his loan spell in Turin last season, £35 million forward eager to join Newcastle after Tottenham snubbed Thomas Frank's transfer play highly productive. Premier League striker is pushing to secure a move to Newcastle United, with negotiations underway for a potential switch to St. James's Park. The development comes after Tottenham Hotspur decided not to follow through on their interest, despite new boss Thomas Frank personally requesting the player. Encouragingly for Eddie Howe, fresh updates suggest Newcastle could also be well placed to land Chelsea frontman Nicholas Jackson. The Magpies are bracing for the possible loss of their talismanic striker, Alexander Isak. Sources have told Team Talk that Liverpool are preparing a second, improved bid worth £150 million, €173 million, $201.7 meters, once Newcastle have secured a suitable replacement. That replacement was initially expected to be Benjamin Sesko, but the RB Leipzig forward opted to join Manchester United instead, with Sesko off the table. Newcastle have turned their attention to Yoane Wissa, who netted 19 goals and registered 4 assists across 34 Premier League starts last season. Both Fabrizio Romano and Keith Downey have reported that talks are progressing for a £35 million deal, Romano wrote on X at 3:37 p.m. on August 8th. Yoane Wissa is now pushing to join Newcastle. Negotiations between clubs are ongoing. We're at working on a deal for Ouattara, which could clear the path for Wissa's departure, Downey added at 3:12 p.m. on the same day. Newcastle want to finalize a deal quickly for Yoane Wissa, with discussions centered around a £35 million fee. His representatives are heading to the UK to try and wrap things up. Newcastle previously had a £25 million bid turned down last month. Wissa, eager for a new challenge, has made it clear that he wants the move and is ready to travel as soon as he receives the go-ahead. Tottenham's decision to walk away from the 28-year-old Dr. Congo international came despite Frank's personal push. Having managed Wissa at Brentford, Frank identified him as a player he wanted to deploy centrally at Spurs. Journalist Graham Bailey told TBR, Frank was keen from day one, but Spurs were never going to pay £40 million for a 29-year-old with just a year left on his contract. Newcastle appear willing to, and that's why they're favourites now. Wissa is essentially being lined up as Callum Wilson's successor. While Wissa is a priority signing, Howe reportedly wants 2 strikers this summer, particularly if Isak departs for Liverpool. Team Talk claims Newcastle have also approached the representatives of Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. The Senegal international is unsettled following Chelsea's acquisitions of Liam Delap and Joao Pedro. And according to the Daily Mail, he has formally told the Blues he would like to leave. Jackson was absent from Enzo Maresca's squad for the friendly against Bayer Leverkusen, instead training alone at Kobum. Chelsea are understood to be open to selling him, giving Newcastle encouragement. However, links to Paris Saint-Germain's Randall Kolo Muani have been dismissed by multiple credible sources. Romano clarified on X that Juventus, not Newcastle, are in active talks to sign Kolo Muani. Oldani labeled the rumors silly season and confirmed there has been no approach from the Magpies. With the summer transfer window now in full swing, clubs have been busy reshaping their squads. Liverpool